Good evening, it's Jill from Crafty Things by Jill. I hope the lighting's not too bad because it's very late. But this is the time I enjoy making videos the most because I don't have cats complaining at my door to try and come in or to get me to come out. No one's here. Phone's not ringing, so this is my favorite time. Don't mind my horrific board. It's been well loved, well used, well abused. Sorry you have to look at it so ugly. But we'll get on with what I actually wanted to show you. This is a legal size envelope. They come in 6 for $1.25 at the dollar outlet. And thanks to Tatty Treasure, her video, she showed how she takes it's a different kind of file folder, but she makes something kind of like this out of it. And I couldn't find the kind of folder she uses. I found this one, so I chose to try and work with this, and this is what I've come up with. It's pretty close, not exact, and that's fine. When I'm gonna turn it into a folio and fill the inside. I stenciled around every page, but I'm going to put a piece of paper on each page and then decorate it. That's for a later video. Here's one without stencils, and you can put this tab. You don't even have to put the tab on it. She had a tab on hers. It was different than this. I liked the look of a tab, so I put a tab on mine. My tab's completely different than hers, and I can't seem to get it the same every time I make one of these. My tab comes out somewhere different, which is fine too. I kind of like that. But I'm going to show you how I took this and made this. Clear some of my spot because it's not necessarily for me, because these are 14 inches long, and my cutter, my paper cutter, and my board, they're all 12 inches at most, so I do have to kind of finagle it and just try to make it work. But I first cut off these two ends. I suppose you could leave them on. I just find it easier to square it up to cut those two ends. And how I find exactly where I want to cut it off is I don't know, I hope you can see this. I hope I'm not out of... I use my mat and put the corner in one of the squares, and exactly where the folder starts to leave the line of my mat, that's where I want to cut it. And I do that on both sides so that I know exactly where to cut it. And I cut both sides straight down. So I'm going to do that, hopefully without messing up my folder. And again, probably, I may be a little bit out of frame, but just cutting straight down. Obviously, this one doesn't go completely up with the tab there, and I could cut the tab off, which I will. I will cut the tab off. I could have done that first, but I just chose to do that. Then you can either cut the tab off first or just open it, and the next thing I do is I cut a straight line, which is a little difficult when my folder is way longer than my cutter. When my folder's longer than my cutter, I have to do a little bit more finagling. And thank goodness this cutter has the the wire to help me keep a straight line, or it would never happen. I even with that, I find that on my best day, I don't normally get a great straight line. Okay, that's fairly straight to me, so I'm just gonna do that, and then the rest I have to use my scissors for. So wish me luck. Because don't anyone, oh, see, don't anyone measure that, because sheesh, not my thing. And then I cut off this tab just to make it easier for me. I cut this tab off. So now my tab on my folder is way larger than a normal tab, and I like that. At first, when it came out that way, I was going to trim it down, but I actually like it that long, so I'm going to keep it that long. And how I do that is by using my tab maker punch board thing that I still have yet to truly completely understand and figure out. So you'll have to, don't go by how I use this, because I don't know the correct way. And I look it up, and then I forget the second after I use it. To find middle, I just obviously come in to find middle. And I mark middle, and then I move it up, because what I really want to do is score a 1/4 inch on each side of center, 1/4 inch. That just lets me know that I want my tab from there to there. Here is going to be the center spine. So again, I have no idea how to completely use this. I stick it in, and it takes a chomp. Then I spin it around. I would have done it incorrectly. I decide, I'm not even too sure, I just guess. I just completely, in the dark, blind, there it is. Then, and to be completely honest, I think the first time I did it, I used this part of it to cut from there to there. The second time I did it, I just used my regular cutter, this one, because at least I can see, I can see what I'm doing better. So I have to cut straight down to the second piece of folder on both sides. Now I can cut off if I can see, I can cut off. This may be where, if you do have something like this, you may want to use it. Maybe I'll do the big side first, just because I can see that. Oh, sorry if I get my head in the way. I'm not too sure which tab I want to cut off first. Which tab can I cut off without ruining my folder first? I mean, actually, you probably could do it safer with your scissors. It's just I'm really bad at that. Let's give that a whirl. That's that way. That way, if it's a fail, I can just blame YouTube, right? Blame camera. Huh. Okay, well, guess it wasn't so bad. Trust yourself, right? Trust yourself. Right? Well, we'll see about that, because now I can already tell I'm cutting 2 pieces. And I was even going to say, oh, I should have put on my glasses. I have them on. So, I don't know, I can't even blame it on that. I'm wearing them. Okay, well, for the most part. Now I'll have to refine my center. That's okay. I needed it in order for my tab. So now I can find it again. All right. Sorry if I'm out of where you can see me, but I'm just finding center, and it's late at night, so I have to be here center, and then again I move it down to the dots and mark my 1/4 inch on both sides. There it is. Now I'll get my scoreboard. Let me put this away because my desk area is quite small. And I don't work well if there's too much going on. All right, so I actually like the point on this one. This one came with this tiny scoreboard, but I actually like that point. Although I do tend to poke through paper, so I do have to watch myself. All right, so I'm going to score here. That I don't score in the center for obvious reasons. That's my spine, and I really don't want a score mark in the middle of my spine. Then I'm not sure if this helps or not. Tanya from Tatty Treasure did it, so I'm gonna do it. She scores from both sides, and I don't know if that does anything, but we are working with 2 pieces of file holder, so maybe that helps. I'm not sure. All right, let me put. Sorry if that was very loud. Okay. I guess before I fold that, the next thing we do is, to that mark, we take off a tiny sliver of the bottom because we want the bottom to be open. And if you can cut exactly on that little fold and it works out fine, good on you, because I can't. I have to sort of cut a very thin, and I try to make it as thin as I possibly can, which, again, not my forte, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We did it. A tad crooked, but we did it. And I think to be honest, what I did with my second one, folder that I made, once I glue these 2 sections together, you can cut right across that bottom. It you know, I'm sure even before you even cut that, if you glue these 2 together, and then just cut straight down a tiny little piece. It works out the same. It works out fine. So either way you want to do it, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it that way just to show you. Excuse me for grabbing my glue. I'm going to use this because I want a good Fabri-Tac, because I want a good hold. And I'm just going to so the real fun will come in decorating these, which is really fun. That's when we're going to have a good time. So this obviously will have to be done in a few parts, because if I spend more than 20 minutes on a video, it takes me hours to upload it. I'm not entirely sure why that is, because I have supposedly a fast internet connection. I have Xfinity. I don't know why it takes me forever, but it takes hours. Then put this here and bend it up. Doesn't matter in what order you do this in. You can cut the bottom. You don't have to cut the bottom until you bend it. It doesn't matter. But at least once that's bent, for me anyway, it makes it easier to then just slice a very thin piece off the bottom. There you go. Bend this side. Put that there right at my score mark. And bend. Now, because just like when you make a signature with paper, obviously you're going to have where the second page sometimes gets pushed out a little bit. I'm not bothered by that. If you're bothered by that, that's easily remedied. Just trim away till your heart's content. I'm not bothered by that. But I do want to make sure that the glue is fairly smooth. I do want to fold it and run my bone folder on it. And then put my bone folder, rub my bone folder on this side. And this side. I do like to open my end while the glue is drying to make sure I didn't squish out too much glue my pages together. So open it. Then it's really up to you if you want to flip this around and put your tab on an inside page, or put it the other way. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. You can do it any way you want. I have my tabs as my last page, but I may do this one like this. There you have it. Now ready to just ink the edges and stencil if you're going to stencil. Well, and you don't have to ink if you don't want to. I am an inker, so I'm going to ink. But we'll pick that up in the next video. Thanks for watching. And if you found any of this interesting or informative, please hit the like button. And if you know anyone else who might be interested in, please share. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Bye-bye.